Hello, guys. I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
But Donald Trump, he gets to hang out with young and have 50 different wives and just...
Samuel L. Jackson on Trump. I've never been on that dude.
Nicki Minaj is getting dragged from every direction right now, and honestly, she set herself up for this. The backlash is non-stop, and now even Samuel L. Jackson has entered the chat, and you already know he's not pulling any punches. According to Samuel, Nicki has no clue what she's actually stepping into. He says Trump and the MAGA crowd are using her for their own agenda, laughing at her behind her back while she smiles along, completely unaware. There's a difference between being famous and being publicly played, and Samuel is warning her to wake up before it's too late. Let's be clear, Samuel L. Jackson has never supported Trump. He's been openly critical for years, calling out Trump's policies and behavior without hesitation. He's even gone as far as encouraging people to openly disrespect Trump, backing politicians who've done the same. In interviews, Samuel has said Trump is destructive, dangerous, and that silence from celebrities equals complicity. So when black celebrities started publicly supporting Trump, Samuel didn't hold back. He made it clear he still sees Trump as the worst possible leader and believes any black celebrity endorsing him is either scared, selling out, or chasing a check. Samuel explained that Trump represents the same people who tried to keep him in his place growing up, and that's why Nicki going full MAGA is so disturbing. According to him, the people she's aligning with don't respect her, don't care about her, and will discard her the moment she's no longer useful. They don't want loyalty, they want optics. Nicki thinks she's making boss moves, but in reality, she's the punchline. Even at a recent Trump summit, Trump joked about her money while everyone laughed at her. Not with her, and Nicki didn't even seem to realize it.
And Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell, not quite. Not as much, but that's okay. But Nicki makes
Is this entire situation going all the way over Nicki Minaj's brain and her spidey senses as the whole room just laughed at her and she thinks they're laughing with her?
It honestly looks like Nicki has no idea that everyone in that room views her as nothing more than a prop, a convenient token. And what makes this even crazier is that the very Republicans she's now bending over backwards for are the same ones who used to attack her when she wasn't pro-Trump openly. People seem to forget that. Take Charlie Kirk, for example. He spent years dragging Nicki, calling her a bad influence and blaming her for corrupting young girls. Now suddenly, she's playing nice with the same crowd that couldn't stand her.
Right now, black culture is being held captive by influences, songs,
Which
and role
influences?
models. I mean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls.
Fast forward to now, and Nicki is suddenly besties with Erica Kirk, parroting some of the wildest MAGA talking points you can imagine. And really, stop and think about this for a second. When have you ever seen a conservative white woman lecture white girls about not making black girls feel insecure about being black? Exactly. Never. But that's the position Nicki has put herself in. At Amfest, standing next to Erica Kirk, she actually went on a rant about black girls not respecting blonde, blue-eyed white girls, flipping the script and portraying white women as the real victims whose beauty is supposedly being diminished.
Not being represented and not being admired for our beauty. If we felt like that as black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty.
Let's pause for a second and really process how ridiculous this sounds. At what point in American history have blonde hair and blue eyes ever been ignored, disrespected, or pushed aside? That look has been glorified, celebrated, and treated as the gold standard for generations. Yet here's Nicki, acting like white women are somehow oppressed or overlooked when it comes to beauty. And honestly, at this point, embarrassment doesn't seem to bother her anymore, because everything she's done recently feels like one long public humiliation.
Young men. You have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president.
At this point, it's honestly hard to tell what Nicki Minaj is even doing anymore. We all remember when she was openly anti-Trump, calling him dangerous and going after his immigration policies. Fast forward to now, and it's a complete reversal. Not only is Nicki openly praising Trump, she's suddenly cozy with everyone in his circle. Just recently, she jumped on X to congratulate Trump advisor Alex Bruesewitz, calling him her dear friend. Let's be real, she likely didn't even know who this guy was until recently, yet now every MAGA figure is somehow her close ally. And this is the same Alex Bruesewitz who's been controversial for years, including being linked to offensive rhetoric about Puerto Rico. Nicki is from Trinidad and Tobago, so the question becomes, does she genuinely believe these people respect her? As Samuel L. Jackson pointed out, Trump represents the same type of people who tried to keep him in his place growing up. But Nicki seems determined to ignore that reality, instead chasing approval from a crowd that wouldn't think twice about discarding her. So what changed? She was criticizing Trump as recently as 2020, which means this isn't ignorance. Something shifted. That's why some people are speculating there may be pressure or leverage involved, especially given the well-documented legal issues involving members of her family. Whether that's relevant or not, it adds another layer to why people are questioning this sudden political flip.
Jelani Mirage showed no emotion as the verdict was read. He was found guilty, as you mentioned, of predatory sexual assault against a child. He's facing 25 years to life in prison. In the moments before the verdict, Jelani Mirage's attorney says Mirage felt confident that he would be acquitted of all charges. But minutes later, Mirage's mother, Carol, walked out of the courtroom alone with only their attorney. Prosecutors say Mirage in 2015 repeatedly had with his then 11-year-old stepdaughter. They say he threatened the girl if she didn't comply.
Considering Nicki's personal history and the people closest to her, some argue her MAGA alignment isn't as surprising as it looks. But others believe this has more to do with chasing relevance. She hasn't dominated the charts in a long time, and linking herself to Trump's world guarantees nonstop attention. No matter the reason, whether it's lack of awareness, outside pressure, or desperation for the spotlight, Nicki made a move that many fans feel crossed a line. And according to them, there's no undoing it. Some former supporters have already said they don't want to hear a sudden political flip once Trump is gone. They see this as grifting, and grifting rarely ends well. Others are even calling it the final chapter of her career. Now the question is yours to answer. What do you think really pushed Nicki in this direction? How does someone go from publicly criticizing Trump to fully embracing MAGA politics? Is Samuel L. Jackson right when he says she doesn't see how disposable she is to that crowd? Or is this about relevance, pressure from her personal life, or finally showing her true colors? Sound off in the comments and don't miss the next video.